So regenerative agriculture, and I'll just give you a layman's idea of it, is what you're trying to do is regenerate the soil. So your goal is to enrich your soil, and by doing that, no-till practices. Instead you do cover crops. So by not tilling and putting cover crops, you're sequestering carbon rather than putting it in the air, which you do when you till. A second part of regenerative ag is that you are planting a wide diversity of native plants. And native plants are very important because of your pollinators. So many of them are species specific, meaning that they emerge, and some of them, like monarch butterflies, are the easiest to know. They like the milkweed, where they lay their eggs, and that's when the little caterpillars emerge, they eat the monarch. They eat the milkweed, which helps them emerge into monarch butterflies then. So there are many species-specific native insects and pollinators. So the third thing is you don't want to use any pesticides, no chemicals, so no chemical fertilizers. Pesticides include insecticides, herbicides, fertilizers. All that is what kills our native pollinators. So try not to do that. And so what I'm trying to do here is I've been doing managed grazing. So when I have my cattle, I move them from one small paddock to another. I don't have those set up yet, but that's the idea, is that you let them eat the grass down to about 3 to 4 inches. And actually what I learned this winter was it's key to have 3 to 4 leaves on the plant. And then you move them to the next paddock. And that more mimics the natural way that the buffalo used to roam. So, initially I was a hobbyist beekeeper, and from there I went. Someone suggested I watch Kiss the Ground, which really inspired me about how much we need to take care of our soil and soil health. And also living in the Colorado River Basin, how important it is to save water. So all these methods that I am trying to instill on my property is ways to address all these. So the reason we're planting so many trees is because trees, when they grow, will create shade, which cools the ground, and then the ground needs less water. So it's all this whole kind of symbiotic plan. We're planting currants at the edge of the orchard to help the pollinators along. So we have all my new little fruit trees over here. We have 6 new apples, new crabapple tree. It's in bloom, and then those are the white ones are the plums, and the apples are starting to come on. So it's just one more plant variety. We're trying to have as much diversity as we can.
What are you doing?
Staking.
What is
Current
that?
bush locations.
Okay. How far apart do they have to be?
About 4 feet, between 3 and 6 feet.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And why do they need to be that far apart?
So they have enough room to grow.
yesterday we planted just 6 bare root willows, native willows, golden willows, and they're all planted 30 feet apart, 24 feet apart, and then we had to surround them with this protective fencing because deer love anybody in the willow family. So we're trying to keep the aspen away. So in between the aspen, planted a honeysuckle bush. So you can just do a swoop, not aspen, I'm sorry, in between the golden willow, we planted that. So this is what we did, and we got this all temporary fencing up to protect the willows from the deer, and I hope that this is enough to deter them. So that is what we did yesterday.
Okay.
So Megan does all most of, what would you call it, the book work, the technical part,
The marketing, organizational development part of it.
and then I have been doing the planning of where we're going to plant things, and then we all work together as a family planting the currant bushes this morning, the golden currants, native, and then I have hired a couple of men to help me, like yesterday with this project, and we'll go see the other 2 in just a minute. And then we'll go to the next one. So we planted 3 narrow-leaf cottonwood, and then we planted 3 more currants, 2 plums, and 3 pasture roses in this section. And once again, it's fenced off to keep the deer out, because boy, oh boy, the deer of anybody in the willow, cottonwood, aspen family. Where we just were was levee 1. This levee is levee 2. I need to wait and get more panels for this one to work on that. This one is levee 3, and that is where the Youth Corps, Colorado Youth Conservation Corps, is going to come help. We're getting 6 12-foot panels. We'll be putting 2 narrow-leaf cottonwood, plum trees, I can't remember how many, and some shrub in that area. This one is levee 4, and we've planted that. So we'll walk over there and you can record that. So this cottonwood I planted 20 years ago. The Youth Corps is going to come in and trim any of these cottonwood that are thinner than a thumb. And then I planted 2 honeysuckle bushes in here. Okay. I'm worried, very concerned. I planted this maple way too low. You can see that it's sitting in water, which is not good for the tree. So I'll try and control the level of the levee better. But I planted that maple, and then there's 2 more. Let's see what it is. These are 3 honeysuckle vine and 3 pasture roses in